Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to complete this transition from the old coins to the new coins. It's supposed to be very straightforward, so I hope that's the case. I'm testing it personally myself right now, so this is a real demonstration of how to do it based on what I expect the process to be. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, then I'm going to get into the website. I'm here. Make sure I've got the right wallet address. And that is the right wallet address. Okay, that is correct. I'm in the right account. Looks everything's good. I'm going to click here. Okay, I've got to beat the timer. Okay, I've got technically over 22 hours to complete this task, but I'm going to go ahead and get it done as early as possible. I'm going to look over these numbers, make sure that they look correct to me. Okay, and yes, 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 that's what I expect. Should line up with what's in my wallet, right? Let's take a look here. PFI, I've got 101.97. Yep. PFB, I've got 50. Okay, it's pulling the data correctly. PFS looks correct. PF, PFG, okay, that's also correct. I know I don't have any collateral outstanding, so I'm not expecting anything in the collateral column, but let's look at the holdings. As far as holdings are concerned, let's look at PFS. I should be 1.573. I'm just going to check that real quick. PFS, go back to the account page. What am I holding there? I am holding 1.57. See, it's pulling the correct information. I could switch it to 10 here. Okay. That one says 1216, and this one says, this one says right here, 1099. Come back in here. Okay. 1099, 1216. Okay, everything's as expected there. Okay, so this is my total amount that'll be moved into the spot contract. Okay, of coins. Okay, all right. I've already put my address in. Now I'm going to move the tokens one by one. So, first one. Says 102 here. So I guess in the smart contract, it may not always show up here. I'm going to assume that's the case, that it's got the correct amount here. I'm not going to wait for it to go there. So again, I'm going through this live. So let's see what happens. I'm going to confirm PFI. Okay, and then I'm going to close. See what happens. All right, now notice I can't change this address anymore. I'm stuck with this address, that the ability to edit it is gone. Okay. This button is no longer clickable. It says here that I moved 102, and that means 101 kept my wallet, that the 10% kept my holdings. That all looks correct. That looks perfect. That was easy. So let's do the next one. Okay, again, I'm not expecting that number there. So I'm right here. That's the main number I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and confirm that. Okay, straightforward. Okay, two down, one to go. My records are here. Okay, what's great is as I'm moving them from here, they're moving down here. Okay, notice that the PFI and PFB now are zeroed out over here. So this shows the successful move of what's in my wallet, what's in the holdings over to the history of what's been moved. This is what's going into the smart contract. This is the allocation, where it came from. The total amount is what matters. Okay, total amount, that's what matters. And go to the next one. Okay. So don't expect the number to show up here. I guess in the smart contract, it's not going to show there. It's going to show right here. And confirm that. And we're going to close that. Super straightforward and simple, easy. Fireworks are going off. Man, I'm getting excited. And the last one. Okay. Three coin. That's what I expect. Yep. Confirm that. So this was coming out of my wallet into the smart contract. Okay. Then I am complete. So my history's good. This has been emptied out up here. The holding value is empty. Now what it's going to show what's been moved, and that's going into the database. Now this isn't necessarily going into a new coin at this moment. That's the next step in the process. What we need to do is move everything in one, tidy thing, and make sure there's nothing that's going to create bugs or anything. This has been pretty straightforward, bug free going into the database. Everything looks correct to me. So yeah, everything that was as smooth as I expected it. But while I'm here, I'll just go back to my account and let's see what happens here. Okay, so the PFI holdings has been, zeroed out. Okay, that's probably true for all three coins. I'm going to refresh and let's just see what happens. Because I do have pay now buttons. I'm going to, pay now and let's see what happens. This is what I normally do every day. Okay, we can do that. And continue. All right, one. That's right. It's technically 3 a.m. here, and I have messed up hair, so I don't want to show that off right now. The system just takes a picture. Two for That can be used for comparison later. Pay now. Generally, you don't want to just show something other than your face, but in this case, I'm doing it. Eventually, AI won't allow us to do anything like this, but it's not quite to that point yet. So far, I've done two of my regular um, sends, and the $100 pool. Again, no, there's nothing in the holdings, so I'm going to pay now and confirm. Okay, that all went well. Okay, all right. So it is showing here that I do have now some coin there. Okay, based on the new coin values, everything's as expected here. $10 there. Okay. $1 here. Based on the new coin. Okay. So the old coin has been removed, and now just the accumulation of the new coin is showing up here as a result. Okay, so that's all looking great. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so that's the process. It is pretty clean and straightforward. I appreciate the programmer for all the hard work he's done to, make this a smooth process for us to get through in this 24-hour period. And it's use it or lose it, people. Don't let this 24 hours go by without getting this task done, because what's at risk is you're going to lose your holdings if you don't do the transition. So whatever you're holding, in the seasoning in your account, um, those will not continue if you don't transition to the new coin. They'll just be zeroed out. And look, the values are way low on the old coin. So basically, how we pay people out, we're paying people out on the first. Um, price targets, which is 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 4 million. So the old coins are a long ways from that, but that's how the distribution works based on those price targets. So if you stick with the second tier and you don't get into the top tier by getting into the new coin, the second tier, you're not getting great value, okay, like you should. And that's because the sellers have just decimated, those values and then not cooperated. And it demonstrated that a lack of cooperation and the trader mentality is a sure way to drive the price of cryptocurrency like these down to zero. And so that's, to me, that's why we preach and teach cooperation and collaboration, because through that, that's how we can succeed, where all of us can come out ahead, not just some of us. All right, thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.